Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.
And this week we're talking about the episode Beneath You.
You know, the ground and the other things.
Under the ground.
This episode originally aired October 1st, 2002, attracting 5 million viewers, the same as the previous week. We start off in Frankfurt, Germany. A young woman races frantically down deserted corridors above a bustling nightclub. Hooded figures similar to the robed men from the previous episode follow her. She dashes through an exterior door, scales down the building, and believing herself safe, leaves the building at the street level. Robed pursuers appear and push her back through the door. One of the robed figures pulls out a long, curved dagger. She blocks his swing, but misses the next. The assassins resheath their daggers and depart. The young woman opens her deadened eyes, and says in a deep, inhuman voice, "From beneath you, it devoured." Then we get the opening credits.
And apparently it was part of Buffy's dream.
Yes, because the Slayer, even though it hasn't happened for probably 5 seasons at this point, will occasionally have prophetic dreams.
Yeah, which
would have been really fucking helpful in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think. Although, I don't think she would have had them when she was dead. Because why would she?
No, but she could have had them,
during the seasons?
Yeah, from from season 2 to about season 6, there was nothing.
Yeah, prophetic dream for season 6. Oh, the trio's gonna do something stupid again.
Or, in season 5, her mom dies.
Yeah.
Or in season 6, Tara gets killed.
Well, I think in most cases, with this specific instance, I'm trying to remember the other particular instances, they're all supernaturally related.
Yeah.
The trio were, though. The trio used magic.
Yeah, sure,
True,
but they were human, summoning other
Then
demons.
why didn't she have visions of Glory? Because Glory was a god.
That was the one particular thing I was wondering
that
about.
probably... She probably could have had some...
Or Adam.
Yeah.
Adam was a bit more of a case of humans messing with demons and their own technology to try and create them.
He's still magic-y.
Ish.
He's magic-ish. Who else is there for big bads? Oh, Angel, you can't really...
Well,
yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
He's a vampire. So yeah, it kind of just comes and goes as they need.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. When writers remember, she
Oh
has
yeah,
that.
by the way, Buffy has this skill we haven't used in fucking 5 years.
It's also a bit of a case of things are kind of gonna go down. We might as well give her a little bit of warning about it.
Anyway.
Dawn awakens Buffy from the nightmare in which she witnessed the German woman's murder, and Buffy questions the meaning of her dream. Elsewhere in Sunnydale, something large tears through the ground. Spike sneaks around in the school basement he calls home, seemingly headed for a rat, while he speaks aloud. Everything around him begins to shake, and he falls to the ground screaming. Xander drives Buffy and Dawn to school, and they talk about high school and Xander's relationship problems.
Yeah.
That's Xander. Principal Wood introduces Buffy to her new job and cubicle where she'll be working. Buffy sneaks around to the basement in search of Spike, but doesn't find him. In England, Willow struggles with the need to return to Sunnydale, where she'll be forced to face her friends and the trouble she caused. Apparently trouble is what we're now calling murder.
Well, the other particular antics that she got into.
And almost ending the world.
Yeah, little thing. Trouble.
Yeah, nothing.
A little trouble.
A taxi awaits her as Giles listens to her verbalize her fears, and he convinces her that even if her friends don't want her back, her presence on the Hellmouth will be important. Back in Sunnydale, a woman walks her small dog along the sidewalk, but while her back is turned, something sucks the dog through the pavement and into the ground. She runs away and right into Xander, who takes her to the safety of Buffy's house. The remaining Scooby Gang console the woman, Nancy, and promise to deal with the unusual creature. Much to everyone's surprise, a cleaned-up version of Spike joins them in the living room and offers his assistance in the battle. Spike wants to talk with Buffy, but Dawn and Xander are not happy to see him, and the fact that Buffy didn't inform them that she saw Spike earlier. Mm-hmm. Buffy goes to talk with Spike privately and offers to help deal with this underground monster. Buffy eventually agrees to let him help, then explains the game plan to the rest of the group. As Spike leaves with Buffy for patrol, Dawn leaves him with a parting threat that if he ever again harms or touches Buffy, Dawn will set him on fire the next time he goes to sleep. Which is pretty fucking great.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of a case of Dawn used to appreciate Spike for being there, watching her, and being relatively cool when everyone was going on adventures. But then Spike kind of messed up, did a whole lot of stupid things. Dawn isn't going to let him get away with that sort of stuff.
I love how Spike has a line, 30 seconds later, is like, when did your sister become terrifying? And it's like, yes!
Makes so much sense.
Dude, you know the answer why.
Spike is somewhat unnerved by this, which is surprising since Spike is usually not easily frightened. While examining the scene where the dog was eaten, Spike explains that the manifest spirits from the school were the cause of his temporary insanity. Buffy is uncomfortable around him and he doesn't bother apologizing for what he did, just admits to changing. Meanwhile, Xander takes Nancy home and she asks if they can go out sometime. But Xander does not get it first. He's like, huh?
Yeah,
He's such an idiot.
It's
He's
kind of
being
wild for him.
Bit too oblivious.
He's really dumb, but
Like,
it's great.
no, I need to spell it out for you. I am hitting on you.
It's so good. She's like, can I have your number? And he's like, what, to check in? And she's like, no, you fucking moron.
No, I am hitting on you. Gosh.
It's so good. The ground rumbles and a giant worm chases them down a hallway and emerges from the ground with a roar. Once the worm goes away and the two are safe, Nancy starts to talk about her abusive ex-boyfriend. And Xander quickly concludes that she made a wish with a vengeance demon. Apparently I combined a wish with vengeance.
A vish.
A wish. Fucking hell. Buffy and the gang confront Anya at the Bronze, and they get her to admit to making Nancy's ex-boyfriend Ronnie into a Sluggoth demon. Nancy learns that Buffy and Spike and Anya and Xander have been involved. And then she asks if anybody here hasn't slept together. They cut to a frame of Xander and Spike. And I'm like, that fanfiction exists.
Yeah.
Also, Xander and Buffy haven't.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, no.
Go with the joke material.
She asks if anyone there hasn't slept together. Spike and Xander look at each other knowingly. Which is such a good moment. They're just like,
Yeah, no.
Anya suddenly realizes that Spike now has a soul, but Spike tries to stop her from spilling the news to the rest of the group. He starts to attack Anya, and she turns on him. Using her vengeance demon strength, Buffy steps in and beats on Spike while he hits back with his verbal assault of what he did instead of his fists. The fight sends Nancy on the run alone, but her wormy ex-boyfriend is hot on her trail. Meanwhile, Xander tries to convince Anya to reverse the curse on Ronnie, but it's not something she can do easily. Buffy arrives in time to rescue Nancy from certain death, and before Buffy can begin to battle a giant worm, Spike intervenes. After a few hits with a metal pole, he goes to stab the worm, only to have it turn back into Ronnie's human form before Spike makes contact. Spike's chip fires as he realizes he's attacked a human. He is terrified as he feels remorse, and he warns Buffy that from beneath you it devours. Anya and Xander arrive on the scene, and Anya knows she will pay a steep price for reversing the spell. Buffy chases after Spike and finds him in a church. He's confused and speaks metaphors of what he really is to Buffy. He concludes that she's there to use him like she did before, but Buffy's quick to correct him. He unbuckles his belt, telling her that it's time to service the girl. He grabs her throat. She throws him across the room. He tries to explain what he did. To get the missing piece that would allow him to become what she wanted, and that Angel would have warned him of the consequences. Buffy then understands that he got his soul back and is shocked by the revelation. Spike continues to speak of all the voices that are in his head, those of the people he tormented and killed as a vampire, and also that of the coming evil beneath. Buffy asks him why he got his soul back, and Spike replies that it was for her forgiveness. Spike turns to a large cross at the front of the church and drapes himself on it, letting it burn him. Tears flow down Buffy's cheeks as she looks on, and Spike asks, Can we rest now, Buffy? And that's how episode 2 ends.
Happy.
Yep. Super happy, not foreshadowing anything. See, that means that it is foreshadowing something. I'm just saying churches might play an important role this season. Anyway, for international titles. In German, The Monster from Beneath. In French, Interior Demons.
Interior Demons?
Yep.
Okay.
So we have original score for the music in this episode. Gus Gus has a song, David. Joey Ramone, Stop Thinking About It. Oh, fuck. Still Stood Stund? I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that.
Still Stund? I have no idea.
The Von Bondies that came from Japan. So, what did you all think of this episode?
Well, it's nice that that Spike has now technically relayed the message to Buffy, and Anya also knows that Spike now has a soul, whatever that will mean for the rest of the series.
Yes.
And I don't know if this other character is going to play like another role in another episode, the one who had the puppy that got eaten.
Oh, Nancy?
Yeah, Nancy.
I guess we'll find out.
I don't know.
So sad. The pupper got eaten by worms.
Well, it was one word.
Well, one big one. But then I was mildly confused until the episode kind of near the end of... I don't really remember too many sequences of the Vengeance Demon, how things sort of go, but no, in most cases, yes, she keeps her wood. Make sure that it kind of ends up badly for the person she curses, but it's gonna be coming back to the person who made the wish in some sort of representation.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've made a big thing in Buffy about magic isn't free. Like, you do magic, and it will usually have some kind of an effect on you as well. Also, there's a great line in the first episode that I forgot to mention then, where Buffy's training Dawn, and she's like, remember, you're a little girl. A little woman. She's like, I'm taller than you. It's so good. So, did either of you have anything else to add? I'll take that as a big old no. So next week we'll be talking about the episode Same Time, Same Place, in which Willow cannot find her friends in Sunnydale, where a flayed body has been found.
Oh dear.
Interesting.
Dun, dun, dun. So until next week, I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.